everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Camilla.
And today we're taking a look at Santa's Workshop. I thought it was called Santa's Enchanted Workshop for some reason.
It's not.
This is a reprint of a game that originally came from Rio Grande, and I gave it a fairly mediocre review. It was a worker placement game where you built presents, but there wasn't enough spots to put your workers. It wasn't interesting enough to go along. And it was also a Rio Grande production, which is not particularly great. Elf Creek picked it up, and they have great productions. With minor notes, which I'll mention, one of them being, I think the box is a smidge smaller than I like it to be, but it's nice, it's Christmassy. There's not enough Christmas games out there.
It's new artwork as well, right? This is Andrew Bosley now, and the original was not?
Yes, it looks much, much better. I'm not sure.
I didn't see the original, but this was
this is great looking.
super cute.
One of the problems with this game is the fact we're reviewing it right now. If you're watching this, it's January 2024. It is not Christmas time. So some people are not interested. In fact, they were hoping we'd get the review up in December. We just couldn't get it done in time.
Right, it came too quick.
But some people just can't do Christmas the rest of the year. That doesn't bother me, but I get it. I understand why these games, but there's so few Christmas games out there.
There are. There's so few good Christmas games that you want to play the rest of the year, not just that I only play it at Christmas kind.
Right, or they're a little card game and they're almost always about giving gifts. This is about being an elf in Santa's workshop and building stuff. Let's take a look. There are two versions of this game. There is an advanced version and a basic version, standard version. I'm showing you the advanced version because, well, it's the version that I'm going to play. This takes place over a certain number of rounds. At the end of each round, at the end of every 3 rounds, Santa's going to see who has the most Christmas spirits. Whoever's finished the most toys, combined with whoever has the most ornaments on this tree, is going to get points. But you're going to also get points during the game as you complete toys. You'll see to complete toys, you'll need a certain number of blueprints and materials for each of the toys, and you'll have a chance to get more toys to work on. You're also going to get points from various other minor things, but there's going to be reindeer that players are going to be collecting as the game goes by. And in the advanced game, there's going to be reindeer put out in very specific orders and the number of different reindeer that you can get. And they have all the reindeer you know. So let's pretend these 3 reindeer are out here. They have all the reindeer you know as long as Velvet, not Rudolph for some reason. Maybe Rudolph is, you have to pay money to use his name. I have no idea. Anyhow, each round of the game, players are taking their workers and placing them on a spot. Most of the spots on the board only one person can go to, although there are a few that everybody can go to. Some of them give you materials. If I go here, I pay a coal to get 2 metal, or I can pay 2 coal to get 3 metal. Whenever you go to one of these spots that gives you materials, if one of these upgrade tokens is available, you can pay an extra coal to get it, and you'll put that on that elf. And in the future, when you use that elf in that spot, they'll give you an extra medal. Or if you don't really want that, you can just make it worth 2 points at the end of the game. And each elf can have 2 upgrades. And if you upgrade an elf twice, they will get some bonus points at the end of the game. So that's how you get materials. Blueprints are done a little bit differently. When you go down here to get a blueprint, the first person to go there will just get 1 blueprint. The second person to go there can get a second blueprint, but if they do so, then they're giving a point to the first, or 3 points to the first player. And then anyone who goes here can get 3 blueprints, but you give points to each of these players as you go through. You can go here to put ornaments on the tree. When you put an ornament on a tree, you get the resource on the ornament and the resource of the thing you cover up. Also, whoever goes here will get the first player marker. Whoever goes here just gets an extra point. You can go here to refill your coal that you have. So each player has coal. Coal's used to get the different resources. You have 2 spots that you can spend wood to upgrade so that you can make your coal thing bigger. Just like you can upgrade your reindeer blankets and mining tools with different resources that will give you extra victory points for doing things. You can send workers here to get more toys to work on. And as you get resources, you put them on a toy. When a toy is completed, you'll get the points for it. And you can also get extra Santa cheer. And you go up here to get reindeer. Reindeer will give you special abilities. And like I said, you have to pay coal for them, though. And at the end of the game, having a number of different reindeer will give you points. So this is what the base side of the board looks like. The other side of the board is just a bit more. You're going to have some ornaments here. You'll get random things. The reindeer do a little bit extra, less special things. There's fewer upgrades on your board. And it's a shorter game all around. I wouldn't bother playing it. Okay, so a real quick note about the advanced and base game. I really wish they hadn't done it. I do not think the game is that complex to begin with. I get if you're playing with grandma, that grandma and grandpa might be like, oh, there's a lot of rules in this. But then play a different game.
I don't know. I think that the basic or the family edition, I forget what they call it. I'm going to call it family edition. I feel like the family edition is not for me. I don't like it. Immediately, like reading through it, I'm like, oh, this is so boring. But I think what it does is makes it mass market feel. And so I think it is going to broaden the scope of who you can play this game with. If you have families that come in,
rules, and I think it's confusing if you do get it. And you're like, what's all this extra stuff?
But you get this game because you're a gamer, and you have non-gamer aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, children coming that maybe play Mousetrap. And I think that's what you as a gamer have this, and it opens it up to them.
I think I could teach people like that the whole game. I really do.
But would they enjoy it? I think that experience with family game would leave them being like, oh, that's interesting. I want to see a little bit more, and then you could teach. But it's an entry point for those larger gatherings.
Okay, I will see that. My only complaint then would be, other than that, is I wish it was just one rule book. Here's the rules.
Absolutely.
Here's a page. Here's things that change in the advanced game.
Yes.
Because I found that a little confusing to have two different sets of rules.
I will absolutely give you that. I didn't love the 2 rule book thing to see the differences.
I like this. The game is gorgeous. I think it's really cool. I love the embossed ink everywhere.
And the texture, some of the components have like a texture to it, whereas others, it's so good.
And as dumb as it is, the little sleigh that you throw the toys in.
Why is that so satisfying?
It really is.
I don't know why.
Although I crack up, I think we're one workshop out of 1,000 because we made 5 toys, and this is not going to be a good delivery for Santa.
I just think one toy is actually equivalent to like 1,000, so they're just scaling it down. That's how I convince myself.
The only thing I don't like is I don't like the little cardboard tokens for the materials. I wish they were actually cubes. Like they feel like materials. I do like that the one is again.
One is shiny,
one
is textured. I think they did the best with it being the cardboard. I would have been indifferent on if they were cubes or not. Keeping it cardboard probably kept the cost down.
This is a vast improvement over the original one, by a mile. There's lots to do. One of my favorite things is the interaction with the blueprints, the whole idea of I go there first. So if I go there first, I only get one blueprint. You need blueprints for everything. But the second person to go there gets more, but now they give me points. Yeah. And sometimes I'll be like, well, I'm not giving them points.
Absolutely. I'll wait till next turn. No, I love the balance of this game because you're trying to balance when do you go places to get what you need, but not locking yourself out of things because the worker placement spots are pretty scarce. Especially in the lower player count game where only one person can go to each spot, you really have this good tension of push and pull trying to plan out your moves for the round. I really like that, trying to maximize what you get, making sure you can get things done at the right time without locking yourself out or being one resource short. I also like how there's multiple ways to get resources. You can either really, bone up on one person and maximize them so when they go to get the wood, they get like 4 pieces of wood, or you can really play off the Christmas tree and go there to get that one extra one you need. So there's enough different ways to get the materials. Even though you're locked out of a spot, it doesn't feel like you're locked out of what you need to do completely. I think that's a really good balance.
And the idea of filling your coal was neat. By the way, I like the bag that you pull coal out.
That's fine.
You can fill up your coal, and you want to utilize all that coal before you fill it up again. Do you want to upgrade? My only thing about the gameplay is I wonder, take out the Christmas theme, and it's a good but not particularly unique worker placement game. But adding the theme in, I think it's fantastic. I think the theme is actually a big part of this. This is not a themeless game for me. I'm making toys. I'm decorating the tree. I'm upgrading my elves or getting better at things. And because of that, that package raises it for me. This is an 8 for me because of the theme. I think without the theme, it would be a 7 if it was trading in the Mediterranean or whatever. That would be fine. And there's some interesting things. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of the different things, but the theme brings it to life, and I'm like, finally, a Christmas game I can recommend to people who are gamers.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I'm right there with you. I'm coming in at as 8 as well, and my sentiments are very close to that, where I think the theme actually elevates this. It does not feel like a pasted-on theme. It feels like the two were developed at the same time. The game was developed with the theme in mind, and it works very, very seamlessly. I love the different meeples, that the 3 different workers that have their individual functions, I guess, as you upgrade them, and they're different boons. I do wish they were a little bit more different. I think when you're pulling it back, there's just not enough variety in them. They're a little bit tough to tell the difference. The two that both have the hands on the hip.
Well, there are actually more problem. In my copy, one broke, and one color came with 2 of the same. But we were still able to play that because it doesn't really matter. It's when you place it, you be like, this the guy gives me extra here.
Right.
It's not a huge deal.
It's not. And so for that, I'm still at an 8. I still really like it. I definitely don't dock it for that, but it is something that I did notice as I played, I think. But again, for me, the theme there, this is one that I am excited to play every Christmas, and about probably every June or July, I'm going to miss the game and probably pull it out at that time as well. So even outside of Christmas, it's probably going to hit the table.
Well, there you go, folks. That's Santa's Workshop. I'm Tom.
I'm Camilla.
Ho, ho, ho.